Hi, we're back in the NSO evo2 Command Center here in the Bahia Mar Resort and Marina Tower. We're going to go back out on the water now to do another demonstration in our Simrad demonstration boat. Except this time we're going to take a little bit different flair with it. Maybe somebody that's not familiar with the Simrad brand at all and how our previous operation screens work and how the menus operate, to show you a little bit more of the basic steps of menu operation. Not necessarily pertaining just to NSO evo2, but the whole suite of Simrad products from NSS to NSE to now NSO, and how you can get to some of the basic features from menu changing to Windows operation and how you switch back and forth between all of those. So let's go down to the water.
So I was wondering, how do I customize my screen so that I can view the things that I want to see when I'm out on the water?
So it's easy to make a customized screen. We have a number of display options that are available. When you press chart, for example, you can see I have chart in radar, chart in structure scan. But if there's something there that I don't particularly like, I can just press the plus sign and I can start selecting the things that I'd like to add to my screen. So if I press chart, there I have it. If I press options, you can see now I want to add something to that screen, and I want to add the echo sounder to that as well. And I want to add one more thing. Go to options, add something else. Say, for example, I want to add my instruments, and I add that to where I have my NMEA or my C-zone data coming in. I press options, I press save, and now I've created a new screen that's customized for the way that I want it. And what's also nice is if I come back to that section and I look at it, I can find that the screen that I saved is available for me to easily access next time I come back to it.
Great.
So Andrew, you were wanting to ask questions about the chart options.
Yeah, I think it's a really good-looking chart, and I was just wondering, how do I, customize the look and feel of the chart, change the orientation, and things like that?
Well, that's so easy to do, once again, with the touchscreen operation. First of all, we want to go back to the menu key, and let's look at a full screen chart. We'll come back to the full screen chart, and you see these two icons over here. Those give us different ways to manipulate and view the chart just by using the touchscreen operation. So if I actually press the crosshairs button here, that gives me the ability to pan up and down, and you can see how quickly these processors respond to the mapping that's available. So that's the purpose of the crosshairs, to be able to move up and down and pan with that operation. But if I pick the circular icon just above it, now I have a new level of movement on the map just by moving my map around. You can see I can change the perspective and actually view around the different ways and change the map upside down and do that purpose right there. Or if I move here, now I have a unique 3D perspective view. And I think what's so nice about that, once again, as I said, is how quickly the map responds to just the touch of a finger. And of course, I go back to the crosshair solution. With my fingers, I can zoom in and out and be able to get a more detailed view by zooming in, or if I need a more overall view, I simply zoom out. But it doesn't stop there. There are other great ways to be able to access it. Just by pressing the menu button down here at the bottom, I have ways to be able to change overlay data that actually can be overlaid on top of my map, including the grid weather or my structure map or my radar overlay. Okay, so I have those options, and under chart options, I have the capability to see 3D views or not, and I can change my imagery, so I can see shaded relief or no contours, or just a simple 2D map if I would like to see as well. So, and also, of course, when you're navigating, some people really prefer whether or not they have a heading up or north up or course up, and as you can see, we have all of those options available with the NSO evo2. Echo sounder.
Yeah, I was wondering how to, best and some of the different options for customizing my sonar screen.
So once again, that's simple to do, especially with the touchscreen operation. You just simply go to the Pages key and select Echo, and then I have a number of different echo sounder pages that I've set up. I'm going to go to the full screen sonar screen, and then from here I have the ability to select my menu. And then if I see my echo options, that's the real heart of where I'm going to make most of the changes for an echo sounder screen. So I select echo options, and from here I can simply select the different color palettes, and depending on what your preferences are, I tend to, the blue background is nice, but in a in a bright sunlight situation, I often like to make the change to a white color background, especially with this bottom coloring that I have. And bottom coloring is really important, especially for bottom fishing situations, because it allows me to separate targets that are on or near the bottom from the actual bottom. But you can simply turn that off as well to be able to read bottom hardness if you would prefer to do that.
So can I split the screen?
So certainly, it's very easy to split the screens. Back in my Echo options, you can see where I have split, and it says no split. That's what we have right here. And I'm just going to go to split zoom, which is the most common reason you'd want to split a screen. I close this out, and now you can see I have a zoomed range for the bottom area, so I get a more detailed view on or near the bottom where I have the full picture over here on the right-hand side of the display.
So I heard that it's possible to actually rewind your sonar and go back and find fish or things that you've already passed over and then route back to it?
Exactly. Now, we're out here at the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show, and we're demonstrating NSO evo2 to a number of people, so it's going to be hard for me to find some interesting fish structure, but I'll give a good example. I'm simply going to, anytime I want to scroll back or rewind my sonar, I can just use my finger and just scroll back into that area. And let's say I want to save a waypoint on this spot right here. I can actually enter that. This menu came up automatically, and I can simply enter a new waypoint, and I can save that to my NSO evo2 memory. The other nice thing is that because NSO evo2 offers autopilot integration, I could also have the opportunity to automatically navigate back to that location. So if you're busy tying on a new lure or you're busy putting on a new bait, you can automatically have your boat go back to that new location, so when you get there, you're ready to fish.
When I scroll back into the sonar recordings, is it also still recording my what's below the boat?
Yes, I'll show you one more time. I cleared that cursor, but if I scroll back, you can see if I want to save a waypoint again, and I just press and hold on that area, I save a new waypoint, I save it. Notice that it freezes here, but I'm still recording, so I'm never going to lose that important echo sounder information, so I never miss a beat on recording my favorite areas. When I press clear cursor, it just picks me right back up to where I left off.
Great. Now that we've gone through the sonar, I was wondering if you could show me a little bit more about the radar.
Absolutely. The NSO evo2 is connected to our broadband 4G radar. This is, and Simrad is the only one that offers the broadband 4G radar with the features that we can see on the NSO evo2. And one of those key features is the ability to have actual dual range radar. What that means is I can have two ranges operating from the same radar at once. So I have a 1/8 mile range for close-up detection, moving at slow speeds, and then I have a broader range, and I can expand those ranges in and out just with the pinch. I can actually squeeze in and squeeze that in, and to be able to zoom out, and I'm at 6 miles exactly. Or if I want to zoom in just a little bit more over here, I can actually go out and I can get to like 400 feet. So, you know, the multi-touch with the dual range capability on our radars and being able to see those at the same time is a great advantage for boaters and fishermen.
I noticed that each time you pressed on a side of the window, the menu key moved from place to place, and I noticed over here on this screen as well that the menu key is currently active on the sonar screen. Can I just click and change that over to chart?
I think that's the most important thing for people to understand when they're trying to change these different menus. As you can see with NSO, we have a dual processor, and each display is operating independently. But on any one window, we want to make sure if we want to affect what's on that window, we call that the active window. You can see that with the red bar going around the display, and I can bring that over here. This one is active, and that means the menu's option comes up, and that's how I'm going to actually affect what's in this menu. So we're talking about active windows, and being able, just by touching it, making it active on any one display, and by pressing the menu, I can affect what's in that particular window.
So you're telling me that even though there are two monitors that are running off of one black box, that there's no lapse or degradation in performance while we're using both monitors independently?
Absolutely not. We've packed the NSO evo2 with some extremely powerful processors, two processors, and I think the best way to demonstrate that is for me to demonstrate, and you help me by you operating this display. I'll operate this display. Let's press the Pages key, and we'll go to the chart section, and we'll just demonstrate how those charts operate independently. You ready? Yep. Let's press the Pages key, and then we're going to go to Chart, and I'm going to go to Full Screen Chart, as I'm sure that you are, and then we're going to just operate independently. I'm going to zoom around. I'm going to find an area that I want to zoom into.
Oh, this is just like using my iPad.
Absolutely, especially with the multi-touch solution that's available.
It's really fast. That's really cool.
I'm glad you like it.
Welcome back to the Command Center here at Simrad TV. Thanks, Andrew, for taking us through that tour around the Intercoastal, and for the brief information that you shared with us. Great informative questions. We hope our viewers appreciate the insight to those basic steps. Thank you.